Coming up on the Dave Dabbah Big Show, can you believe Sergio Garcia actually won a major? Plus, I've got my pick for the National Basketball Association, or excuse me, the association's most valuable player. Okay, go and play the cool intro music now.
Big Show, presented by Seat77.com. As always, Dave Dabbah is coming to you live from the Super Plus Seat 77 broadcast studio in the heart of Silicon Valley. Now, Dave Dabbah.
North America, thanks for tuning in to the Dave Dabbah Big Show. Today, we begin with the highly, and I do mean highly, anticipated National Basketball Association MVP race. And as we conclude the end of the association season, I thought it was time for me to make my final pick on who I believe is going to win this year's MVP in the National Basketball Association. Now, as you all know, this is a pick about who I believe is going to win, not a pick about who I believe deserves to win it, which is, of course, LeBron James. But we basically have three candidates up to review. Now, we've got that guy who's hanging out in San Antonio, you know, the quiet basketball player that plays on Greg Popovich's team, and there's not a chance in hell he's going to win the award this year. So moving on, then we've got James Harden, who for about 72 hours, about 2.5 weeks ago, and in fact, I did a podcast about this. I gave James Harden the MVP award. And then something unbelievably happened. And Russell Westbrook actually got even better as the season went on. And I want to set this up with the following, to say that I was flat out on the James Harden deserves to win the MVP award, because if you look at how improved the Houston Rockets are, you can tell that that improvement is because of how good James Harden has been playing on, believe it or not, both sides of the court. But as we kind of got into these last 2.5 weeks, and after that brief 72-hour period kind of flashed away and became a flash in the pan, Russell Westbrook just went off. I mean, he absolutely went off on the rest of the National Basketball Association. And a couple nights ago, it was all over as Russell Westbrook actually put up a game-winning, and I don't care about the triple-doubles anymore. Yes, he has the triple-double record, but he actually put up a game-winning shot to beat Denver. In Denver, knocked the, I almost said Broncos, knocked the Nuggets out of the playoffs with one shot. I mean, Russell Westbrook by far should win this award, hands down. Now, look, James Harden, you'll have your chance because that's how these awards work. James Harden, I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. I'm going to go ahead and pencil you in for next year. Just do what you did this year, next year, and James Harden, you'll win the award despite what Russell Westbrook does. But this year belongs to Russell Westbrook with all the off-the-court stuff that happened. You know, when Batman left Robin and went to the Golden State Warriors. Hey, speaking of the Golden State Warriors, I have to say this. Now, as you all know, I live here in the Silicon Valley, and they're actually running an ad on one of the local radio stations for, it's a DirecTV versus Xfinity from Comcast comparison. And they're telling you that Xfinity is like Steph Curry and DirecTV is like Russell Westbrook. I can't even believe that they're running this ad. Do they not know that Russell Westbrook is having a better year this year, Xfinity? Anyways, it's just a side note. So it's a pretty funny, interesting thing going on here in the Silicon Valley. Anyway, so Russell Westbrook clearly, absolutely deserves to win the big award this year. And anything else would be uncivilized if Russell Westbrook doesn't win it. Moving on to our final story of the day, and El Nino, Sergio Garcia, actually found a way to not blow it, though he tried to blow it, and he blew it a couple times on his way to his first ever major championship victory. And I have to say this. I sat down. I worked in the morning, and watched the front 9 while I was working. But I got to the back 9, and I was on the couch, and the birds chirping, and the pianos playing, and the harp. It's almost like there's a piano and a harp in the forest behind the 12th hole. It's just unbelievable what a fantastic job the team at CBS actually does with that particular broadcast. And just the birds chirping and the whole thing, it's just absolutely phenomenal, right? So Sergio Garcia gets down and he ends up in a playoff and, wins on a birdie putt. And it's all over. We don't have to worry about Sergio Garcia anymore. The whole thing with would he ever live up to the hype? I don't think he'll ever live up to the hype of that 19-year-old Sergio Garcia. But it was nice to see him actually get a win. But I must say this, I was disappointed because I was looking for Ricky Fowler. And as my wife kept doing the whole Bueller thing with him over a 48-hour period, it's all I heard was Fowler, Fowler, Fowler. So it would have been nice to see Ricky actually make things interesting during the Masters. But there's always next year for Ricky. It's amazing how far that kid can hit a ball if you consider how tall he is and what his height looks like. Anyways, so one last thing on the National Basketball Association as we move into the playoffs. Now, for the Golden State Warriors, they are going to play Portland in the first round, and most likely will end up with Utah in the second round. I'm not saying that Utah is going to win, but don't be surprised, Warrior fan, if you're watching a Game 6. Okay, North America. Thanks so much for all of your support. Thanks for tuning in to the big Dave Dabbah Big Show. We come to you usually 2, 3, and sometimes 4 times a week. We are available all over the place. Facebook, Twitter, the SoundCloud, Spreaker, iTunes Audio, iTunes Video, of course, our big YouTube channel, and we are on the iHeartRadio app as well. For the Dave Dabbah Big Show, I'm Dave Dabbah, reminding you that not everyone can be a champion, Ron Rivera, but everyone, and I do mean everyone, can act like one can. And good luck, North America, because in this era of Donald Trump being your president, you're going to need it.